Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm. This is episode number 27, and I certainly hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas, and looking forward to closing out 2019 with a bang. Now we have just a minimal amount of corn and soybeans left. And this was left over from the previous harvest. So we're going to kind of split the difference here and see where we can get the best price for these. I suppose we should go both places, perhaps 1373, 30. Yeah, I think we'll just go to Lone Oak Company for both of these, and that'll be a quicker run anyway. And yeah, we'll get this sold. And then I think what we'll do is we'll set we'll set Billy Bob up or Jack up on a course play course to sell some canola. And not sure what's up with my steering. My steering appears to be ultra sensitive this gaming session. So I don't know if something didn't load up correctly or whatever. I still have struggles with my steering with my G27 for Farm Simulator 19. Sometimes I can start the game up and the steering wheel is perfect, just like I like it, just like I want it. And then other times I can boot it up and it's stiff as a board. I have to close the game out, restart the game. Sometimes it'll appear back the way that I want it, the way that it should, the way that I expect it to. And then other times I still have to do that startup ATS or ETS2 thing to get the wheel to function the way that I want it. Oh well, can't have everything, I suppose. Our crops here on Lone Oak Farm are coming in quite nicely. We've got cotton here on the left, we've got soybeans coming up here on the right, and then just after the cotton field, we've got what appears to be miles and miles of corn. So we'll be getting into those harvests very, very soon. We are in the last game day of summer, so it is very late summer here. We've got a 69-degree Fahrenheit current outside temperature with our soil temperature at 70 degrees. We've had some rain off and on the last couple of days, and that has, I believe, will help along with the bright sunshine that we're expected to have today. That should really help the crops out. And yeah, so I'm hoping that we're going to get into harvesting very, very soon. And of course, that's kind of why we're doing what we're doing here today with going ahead and moving the final amounts of corn and soybeans. This was left over again from last year's harvest. Moving this stuff out here to the Lone Oak Company and selling this. And, we'll get whatever price we can get for it. It's in good condition. The soybeans are, and they're obviously anxious. Both Lone Oak Company and Hollister's, as well as GSX up the way there, are both excited and interested in our harvests coming up. So we've got 16,000 for the soybeans and 6,000, we'll call that 7,000 for the corn. So I'm assuming that if all things being equal, we got a little over 20,000. Got a little over 20,000 for that load. Certainly worth bringing it up here, even though it was a partial load. But it's good to get. It's good to get the. Let's get out here of camera view so I can see. This is kind of what I was talking about in episode number 26, I believe it was, about these tight sell points. Now, just to kind of jump out of role play or character here for a moment, I get that maybe map authors, map modders, map developers, whatever we want to call them, might think that, well, what I'm doing is I'm trying to create a challenge. Well, but the other reality of this is that these places in real life are used to dealing with large trucks, large trailers, multiple trailers, as we have in our configuration here, and certainly have plenty of room. Now, of course, you know, professional truck drivers, even the drivers who do this on the farm scene, may not be professional truck drivers, but they are highly skilled in what they do, um, and they do this all the time. But still, you have plenty of space to maneuver and all that good stuff. And I think that, you know, the map developers just try to cram so much in that what ends up happening is the space around a maneuver and everything is somewhat limited. So anyway, very much appreciative to both Bullet Bill and Oxygen David for this map, of course. But yeah, would like to have a little bit more space to maneuver from time to time. Anyway, okay, enough about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull back into the yard. We're going to get Billy Bob to drive a few loads of canola up to the highest buyer, whoever that might be, and we'll figure that out here in just a moment. And we'll start moving in some more cash into our bank. I need to probably move some equipment around here momentarily, but we'll get him on his way anyways. Now Jack has been busy, um, and that is not an understatement whatsoever. Jack has been busy getting things ready, getting all the equipment that we're not going to use anymore, getting that stuff maintained, getting it cleaned up, and we're going to get it put away. So we're going to do a little bit of that in this episode as well. So what we have here, so Lone Oak Company at 1,063. I think that's what we'll do again. So we'll send our canola up up there. So let's go ahead and bring this up. I've already got a course set up because I did all this painstakingly, and it took a little while because I first was trying to do it with the other tipper that we had, and just ended up just pulling my hair out with it because we're going to do canola, aren't we? Canola. We're going to do canola to Lone Oak Farm, and let's see. I think that there might be. Is there something else that we need to check over here? Maybe like refill until 100%. Yep. Um, okay. Number of runs to perform deactivated. I think that means he'll just run until it's empty, and that's fine too. So we will send him off on his course. Nearest waypoint. There we go. So as I was telling you in the other episode, this is just kind of a course play tip that if you set that start point too close, he won't load up the first, basically the first trailer. So there's the canola going in, so at least that worked correctly. And then we'll just stay with him and let him ease up as I take a sip of my coffee. And he'll pull on up to the second there. He'll load that out. If I had set this start point here a little bit closer, he would have kept on going. And again, that's kind of the tip of the day for you. That doesn't cost you a dime. All right, so Billy Bob's pretty efficient at this kind of stuff, so we'll just hop out and let him do his thing, and off he goes. So he'll be rolling in the money here momentarily. Let's wash up our sprayer. Now we do have one more spray job that we need to do, and that is soybeans. So actually, I tell you what, let's not well, let's turn that off for one. Let's not waste a whole lot of water on that because we do have, like I said, we do have one more field. Let's just bring up our map here so we can all look at this together. If we go over here to our fields, we see Billy Bob off running there. So we look over here at soil composition, everything. Well, we got three more fields, I suppose, 28, 29, and 51 that we need to. So I lied. Yeah, we've got those fields that we need to spray. So we will do that. I tell you what, let's just, instead of parking this guy, well, we don't have another hired worker, do we? I've only got Billy Bob and Jack here right now, and I need Jack busy doing what he's doing. So, all right, let's get out of this. try to get out of this. Good. All right. And then we will head over here and we're going to move the baler out. As I said before, we've been we've been working on getting equipment basically maintained that we're not going to use anymore, and we certainly aren't going to bell anything else. We belled we belled until our little hearts were content. Just over the last couple of days, we belled the hay that we made in the previous episode. We got that belled, we got that stacked, and got it out of the way. I guess what we can do is put our, we'll have to hurry because Billy Bob will come slamming around that corner here momentarily after he sells his canola. Get this back in there. Yeah, the steering wheel is just a bit on the sloppy side. I don't know what it is. I'll have to reboot the game and see if that fixes it. Now, you also, if you're paying attention to our maintenance down there, you also know that we need to do maintenance on our equipment. So we're going to pull that. We're going to pull this guy in momentarily and go ahead and do maintenance on him, because that'll help keep him nice and productive. Now, the cotton harvester, he has Jack. Jack is who I'm talking about there. He has done maintenance on this guy. Just greased all the grease points and got everything in ship-shape condition. So we got 31,000 out of the canola. That might be out of the first trailer, and he's emptying the second trailer. So if we can get 30,000 out of it, and 30,000 out of the next couple of loads, that's going to be quite good there for us. And we'll go ahead and gently, I say, another 31,000. That's nice. All right, we'll park this guy up here. Sorry about the sloppy driving. My steering is a little bit messed up there. All right, but we will just persevere because, hey, don't have time to stop and fix that stuff. I'll reboot the game whenever I start doing my off-camera work. All right, so we'll pull this guy in here and we'll get Jack to start maintaining it for us. Shut it down, we'll jump out, and I think that's probably is it R? Where do we need to go? We need to go over here and hit this. So we're going to repair this guy. Don't need to repaint it. There's nothing wrong with that paint job for sure. Now my friend Duckzorly, he doesn't appreciate the green and yellow like some of us other virtual farmers do. But there we go. She's ready in all of her glory. And she's this one, this 8500R, she's one of our workhorse tractors. Obviously the 9 series with the tracks on it and everything. That's a fantastic tractor as well. We'll get this guy in here out of the way and park it right over here. Now Jack has already maintained the combine, so it's ready to go. And we've got the corn header on it, expecting the corn to come in first, and all that is good. All right, so we're about 13 minutes on our time there. We do need to take some straw over to the cows. Gotta kind of keep an eye on my. I meant to drop this guy. I didn't mean to hook onto him. I have to keep an eye on my mirrors there because, like I said, Billy Bob will come flying around the corner here in just a moment. Now, I did find a potential flaw in my plan to use the little tipper there that I talked about, the little blue and red one, the other day, because straw essentially, I can't get it to accept straw straight from the bell. And even if I try to shred the bell, which I can do because I have the mod installed, and of course I'm talking about, if I come up here to the global company, left alt G, no, left control G to bring this up, I'm talking about this activate cut bells there, that option. This is a pretty cool mod the whole global company mod program is pretty cool because it eliminates a couple of extra mods that you don't need, and it eliminates the place anywhere, and then the horse helper mod, and so the cut bells is another one that is cool. I remember that from the Farm Sim 15 days. So we need basically one bale of straw to feed to, or not to feed to our cows, but to put down as bedding. And so Billy Bob is back, and he should be filling back up again with canola, and he is. Horseplay, I will tell you that I'm probably going to have some gray hair. I'm kind of prepping myself, and you have to be careful with this bell storage mod that you don't go too far. Because if you go too far, it'll suck it right off your bell grab, and then you'll have to go and request it again. Horseplay is an awesome mod, and as I was going to say, there's probably going to be a time where I'm going to start pulling my hair out with Horseplay, because I have a feeling that Harvest might be a little difficult with Horseplay, just in the simple fact that things just don't seem to work as well as they have worked with previous versions. Okay, some of the things. Shut the tractor off. Yeah. Some of the things that I have noticed, for instance, the combine and the tipper tractor getting in the way of each other, almost constantly. So it's going to probably be a very slow go process on getting harvest done. But Horseplay and other elements, when it works really well. And for those of us, regardless of whether you're doing a YouTube channel or not, Horseplay is wonderful for just helping to, carry your storyline. Even when I play off camera, or if I play a map like I'm playing Nebraska, I'm not doing it for video right now. As I said before, I might do a visit or something like that, just to kind of show that we're there and do a little bit of work or whatever. But as a whole, I'm not really planning on doing Nebraska as a Let's Play right now. But anyway, even when I'm playing off camera, I do enjoy sort of doing a storyline, sort of doing things in my head a little bit, as far as just what I'm doing. And Horseplay really allows me the opportunity to do that, and do that quite well. I'm going to, just for the sake of storyline and everything, because we've got 71 liters of straw in here, because it didn't take the entire belt. I'm going to back this guy into the shed, because that way we can keep it dry and all of that. So we'll just leave that tractor connected to it as well. No big deal. Let's look at our animals right quick and just make sure. They need some total mixed rations, and they need some water. So let's we'll bounce over here and we'll grab this tractor. We're kind of playing musical tractors here without the music, because we had that other John Deere connected to our Marshall trailer. So another $31,000 that we sold with that first trailer, and it looks like that price is holding. So that's good. I don't know how long I would have to wait until I would get a great demand for canola. Knowing my luck, the great demand for canola is going to come tomorrow. But then again, tomorrow we might be harvesting, and if that's the case, then I don't have time to. If that's the case, I don't have time to take grain to the sell point, because it's going to be all hands on deck, and plus some. We're going to have some contract workers helping us out as well. So we just have to do things as we can, and it was a fairly decent price, and so that's good enough for me. These are great mods, these mixing stations. We quite enjoy having this on the farm, because what that allows us to do is, it basically takes the place of a role that either Billy Bob or Jack or myself would have to do. Now, while we're speaking about great things for our farm, this GTX, this was installed by the GTX company not too long ago, and we put all of the grass in, and it is percolating. I will say we've got just over 126,000 liters of silage that has been created, that has been made, with 639,000 liters of grass to go. We got, if you do those, add those two together, that's what we got for our total grass out of that field, and that's not bad at all. So got that grass out of that field over there on the other side of the house. Now, speaking of these fields, we had talked about, and probably still going to go ahead with the plan about going ahead and plowing those fields in. And that is possibly something that we'll do off camera, get that done. And if we can get it done before the harvest, then we'll do that. Otherwise, if we have to wait, then we have to wait. Once we start harvesting, I have a feeling that that once the first corn field comes into harvest, then it's going to be a chain reaction. Whoa! See what I mean? He just flies around the corner. Darn Billy Bob. Anyway, it's going to be a chain reaction from essentially one harvest, one field to harvest to another field to harvest, and then I think it's going to be all about the corn harvest for a few days, and then it's going to be all about soybeans. And I really think that once we start harvesting, regardless of what comes first, whether it's it's going to be corn. The corn harvest is going to come due first, just because we know. But then also don't forget we got cotton as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that once we start harvesting, we're going to be harvesting from that point forward until the last field is harvested, and that's going to take however long it's going to take. Let's go ahead and we'll drive over this direction, and that way we don't have to walk that far. We'll set the parking brake, we'll jump out, we'll go down here and turn our water on for these guys, or for these gals actually. There we go. Of course, I'm looking forward, just standing here looking around. This is the last game day of summer. I'm really looking forward to how this map is going to pop come fall. I am really excited about what both BulletBill did for the FS17 version and what OxygenDavid has done since then for the 19 version of this beautiful map, and what it's going to look like in the fall. And of course, we'll see that most likely very, very soon. So back to these fields and plowing them up. I've been thinking about that, and I have basically made the decision both directions as to doing it, and then also coming back and saying to myself, no, let's just leave them as they are. Let's just leave them as grass. But I think that we can essentially increase our yield on those fields by plowing them up, because of the simple point that right now these fields need to be plowed. Now, I personally don't think in the real world that a farmer is going to worry about plowing up his hay meadows, for the simple fact of the yield. I've never known of any farmers that I dealt with when I lived in East Texas as a child and worked on some farms. I never knew of anyone plowing up a grass field or a hay meadow to then turn around and replant grass and everything. I just don't think that is what they do. But for the sake of the game, for the sake of just changing things up a little bit, I'm not opposed to doing it. It's going to take some work. It's going to obviously take some diesel. It's going to take some seeds, because we would essentially relocate these two grass fields, because we need I have a feeling that we're going to need the volume from at least these two. We may not need these back here. And what we might end up doing is for these fields back here in the back that we've cut, I think we've cut those once. I don't think I cut those in the summer. I've cut these two fields out here 3 times in this game season. But I think these fields that we have back here, we're just going to leave them as grass. They'll kind of be unproductive, but we'll just sort of think that this is, we let the cows down here. Because I wish we had this functionality in the game where we could move cows from one pasture to the other. And so that's the way I'm gonna play it, is that we are basically going to come down here and we're going to close this gate off for now. We're going to close these gates off for now, and we're going to essentially well, we got to keep this gate closed because they'll get in there. Wait, yeah, we got to keep that gate closed because they'll get in there and get our corn. But see, it would be nice if we had a gate down here. We might do. Do we have a gate up here? Do we have a gate up here? Can we do this? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, ladies and gentlemen. No, we can't. No, we can't. Well, we'd have to drive them. We'd have to, get us get something here and close off this gap, and we could bring them out of this gate. Will this gate open? No, this gate doesn't open. This gate's just for decoration. Yeah. Anyway, oh well. So much for that. But anyway, that's what we'll just say. That's what we'll just say. I mean, the game doesn't allow it, although I wish that it did, and I know that many of you also feel the same way. Is that we wish that we could move animals around, and have an advantage to doing that. Have a way of, a way for Giants to basically program, or Seasons program in where this grass, starts going down because they're eating it. And then basically we're growing this field over here, and then we can open a gate and move the cows into this area, and they can eat from that while this area, heals or whatever, regrows. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, 27 minutes in, and we've done well. We've done really well on our money, and as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do here, just really, really quick, we're going to stand here and watch Billy Bob come slamming around the corner maybe. I'm going to go back into our menu. We're going to go to our bank, and we're going to repay our $200,000 loan. We're going to do that because I think it's important to run as best as we can without any, and I'm going to go ahead and save it just so that we don't lose anything should the game crash. But I think it's important that we run, without a loan if we can. We've got $372,000. If I bring up our crop menu here, we've still got 325,000 liters. Is that how I read that? No, 32,000 liters of canola. So this will probably be his last load. We've still got a load of wheat. We've still got plenty of wheat. Of course, we got to keep some wheat because we're going to stop him. We're going to keep some wheat for the chickens, and but basically, we can let at least 100,000 of this go. We've got 12,000 liters of barley that we can get rid of as well, and we can do that, at any time. I feel right now with $372,000 in the bank that we've got enough money to pay our laborers that's going to come and help us with the harvest, to handle the leased equipment that we're going to have on the farm, and basically get us well into the harvest with diesel and all that stuff. And then obviously we're going to start selling corn and soybeans as soon as we can get them dried, and get them to market, and see how that goes. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate that. Again, I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas, and I'll be with you next week on Monday at least. before the new year. So we'll at least have one more video for 2019 coming from Lone Oak Farm. And who knows, that might be a harvest video. I don't know. Talk to you all later. Take care of yourself and also of each other. God bless you all. Bye bye for now.